Welcome back to Cheddar News, everyone. I'm Asia Celestino. This next segment is brought to you by General Motors. Now, there is a high demand for talent across industries right now, and while it's critical to recruit strong talent, it's just as important to have the tools in place to retain them. Joining us is Laura Jones, Executive Director of Global Talent and Corporate Staff, HR at GM. Laura, thank you so much for joining us. GM is creating over 3,000 tech jobs. How is the company planning on recruiting diverse talent?
Thanks, Adrian, and thanks for having me. Actually, even in addition to the 3,000, we're more in, up to the 10,000 jobs overall across the whole company. And the key for us is pulling on those multiple levels of the pipeline. So going to now like over 200 universities, we're pulling in from over 3,000 companies, looking at roles that might not need a degree. And that's a different way of thinking. And then really our new work appropriately philosophy opens up a lot of options for us.
Yeah, Laura, I'm so glad that you mentioned the work appropriately philosophy for employees. What is this approach all about? Why is it needed?
I'm going to go to the what's needed first. I mean, it's really, there's a war for talent and talent won. We must listen to our employees and then marry that up with the future business strategy. Work appropriately as our philosophy isn't about saying work wherever you want to work. It's about saying we trust you, we empower you to be where you need to be most successful and to achieve our goals. And candidly, we've already proven most of that through the last nearly 2 years through COVID. And so learning through that is really where we've been laddering up to.
And can you share more about the philosophy? Give us an example of how work appropriately is successful.
Couple of examples here. We're actually running at overall our highest employee engagement score and feedback to date. And that's in 9 years since we even started measuring. So what we see in the comments, someone very tactically said, I joined GM because of work appropriately. And we're bringing in talent because of this, as I said. In some of our organizations, and you had it up there, one of our data organizations, they're seeing over 2.5 times more job applications for their open positions. One of those jobs was open for over a year, but when you open the bounds of can be done in a different location other than one that's tied to a GM location, again, we're dipping into different talent pools. At the same time, even with our people that have to be on site, it is successful because we're looking at how can we cross train, have work partners so shifts can be covered, bringing technology on site so that people on site can also be more successful.
I also want to ask what your overall vision for current but also future talent at GM is.
Luckily, it's very simple. It's to ensure that our solutions drive the belief that our employees are our biggest asset, because they really, really are.
Incredible. And what are your plans for continuing to support and retain talent moving forward?
One of the things is really making sure that we put leaders in the forefront. Leaders have to lead through this. So we, human resources, need to support and grow our leaders to be the best that they can be to maintain that engagement and retention of our workforce. They're just so key. And the other thing is we have to continue to listen to our people. Our solutions will remain very fluid, but it's making sure that the words that we're saying about work appropriately and the deeds that we're putting in into action remain in balance.
It sounds like a really impactful philosophy, and I can't wait to see how it all pans out. That's Laura Jones, Executive Director of Global Talent and Corporate Staff's HR at GM. And General Motors is committed to an all electric future. Visit gm.com to learn more. Everybody in.